Hey, it's Alex with alextucker.ca, reminding you to like this video if you like this video, leave me a comment if you got something to say, and subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Now let's go. Hey, it's Alex, and in this video I'm going to talk about what passive income is in 2020 and beyond, as well as my passive income strategy and how it's going so far. So first of all, I want to say that there seems to be a lot of confusion around what passive income is. I think a lot of people just kind of equate passive income with working or doing business online, and they feel like if money goes into their account while they're not working, then that means it's passive income. So like, they'll give someone an affiliate link and then that person makes a purchase a couple hours later, and then they go, oh, that's passive income because I wasn't working. And that's not what it is. Passive income is when you have an asset that makes money on its own, and you either it doesn't require any care, or you have completely outsourced the care of that asset. And so examples of having passive income online are having websites, having blogs, e-commerce stores that make money that are completely taken care of by employees or by virtual assistants or by someone who isn't you. And if it's all taken care of by someone else and it generates income, that income is technically passive. And more traditional examples of passive income include things like buying land that matures over time, or renting properties. And so if you have like a second house that you don't live in, and you rent that house to other people, then and you hire someone to take care of the rental and take care of the house and everything, then that income becomes completely passive. You wouldn't need to do anything. And so if you think about it that way, you realize that there actually are a lot of options for passive income. There's a lot of ways to make money without actually doing anything, but generally speaking, they require investment of time and energy and money beforehand. So it's not something that you can just be like, oh, okay, I'm going to start, doing online business and I'm going to generate passive income from day one. That's not really how it's going to work. In most cases, unless you have some capital to put into it up front and you're really good at what you do, in most cases you're going to have to put in some work for a while and figure things out and make some initial earnings, and then you'll be able to reinvest that along with reinvesting the knowledge that you've gained, and that's when you're going to be able to actually earn some passive income. So I personally don't really think that I have any passive income at this point myself, although I do make quite a bit of my income just from my blog and my YouTube channel. They are things that I actively maintain and that I'm actively working on, so I don't really consider that passive in any way. But a blog or a YouTube channel can still be an example of something that's passive if you are not actively working on it yourself. So I've created this little kind of an infographic thing here, and basically it's like it's a progressive circle going inwards. And so here's me on the outside. This is my little avatar. And then at the center of the circle is passive income. That's the goal. And so for me, my strategy starts with content creation. Now, that's something I've been doing basically since I started working online. Not one of the first things, but one of the things that I did early on when I started my online business is I started a blog, and a little while after that, I started a YouTube channel. It took me a long time to actually start creating videos consistently, or creating worthy blog posts consistently. But I got those things down eventually, and I started seeing results from content creation. And the reason that this is kind of the bedrock of my passive income strategy is that this is what's going to help create my personal brand. This is what's going to make people aware of who I am. And this is what's going to help me communicate with potential customers and clients at scale. So like if you put up a blog post or you put up a video that teaches something really effectively, an unlimited number of people can learn from that and benefit from that in the future. So that is like, it's like every really useful blog post or really useful video that you create is almost like a block in the passive income tower that you want to build. So I feel like the more content that I have that's really helping people, the closer I'm going to come to being able to actually create passive income. And the second circle, or so the first circle, so right now we're outside of the circles, just doing content creation and generating income online and doing business online. And then to get into that first circle, for me, that's going to involve hiring virtual assistants. And I've actually just finished hiring my first virtual assistant, and I'm looking at hiring a second one. And I'll put links in the description to the services that I use for virtual assistants, or rather, one of them is a service. It's called iWorker, and it's a great service. It connects people with workers in parts of the world that are kind of having trouble, where people really need work, and so you're able to hire workers for a very reasonable rate, and you're helping people out who really need it. And the other is onlinejobs.ph, and it's a dedicated website for hiring Filipino workers who work online, so you can get virtual assistants there for very good rates as well. And so this is kind of the first step, because it's going to allow me to automate certain parts of what I do. So one thing that I've started doing, for example, in order to create more content with less work, is I've started transcribing a lot of my videos. I have a service that automatically transcribes any video or audio that I upload to it into text, and that's great, but it doesn't do it perfectly, right? So I still have to go through and fix it. But that's something that I can pay a virtual assistant to do. And there's a number of other tasks related to some of my work and some of the content that I create that are repetitive and that don't necessarily require my attention. And those are the kind of things that I'm planning on outsourcing to virtual assistants. Also, the first one that I've hired is a designer. And so she's going to be helping me with infographics and things like that. So in the future, I can have better looking infographics than this one that I whipped up myself. And anyways, so the bedrock, the first step is kind of content creation, to get your name out there, to create a foundation of helpful communication that lots of people can consume and interact with. Then the next stage is going to be hiring virtual assistants so that you can start to outsource some of the work involved in that and start to create actual systems that are going to generate income for you, even though you're still going to be maintaining them. And then the next step is going to be building a team. And this could be a team of employees, or it could just be a team of contractors. It could just be a team of virtual assistants. But the difference is that it's not one or two. It's probably going to be more than that. And the difference is that it's going to be a team of people that know how to work together to accomplish a common goal. It's going to be a team of workers who I can say, it's not just like, okay, maintain this blog that I built for me so that it continues generating income without me having to pay attention to it. It's a team that I could say, okay, we're going to build this new blog. What's this blog going to be about, and how are we going to make money with it? And they would come back with the answers, and they would come back with the work. And all I would have to do is invest like a little bit of time and my money into it paying them, and they would create the rest of it on their own. And that's going to lead me into kind of the final circle, which is where I'd like to get in the next, I think, 2 to 5 years is a pretty reasonable time frame. And what I think that looks like for me is owning multiple blogs, maybe a couple of e-commerce stores, and having multiple sales funnels as well that are selling my own digital products as well as affiliate selling other products, and basically creating an online ecosystem and community that I can interact with as I have time for and as I'm available. And that's going to allow me to create passive income while still having kind of the life that I want and still being involved and still learning. And that's where I see myself going. And you wouldn't have to have the exact same strategy as me. Like I said, there are other ways of creating passive income. You could go about it a more traditional way, like renting property. I might do some of that. I'm looking at gathering physical assets as well. You can do it through investing. That's another thing that I'm looking into in the new year. So these are all, ways of generating income passively. And the thing that they have in common, as I was mentioning before, is that you can't really just get right into them unless you have significant finances and knowledge to invest into the project. And so usually if you're just getting started, with online business and you want to create passive income in your online business, it's going to take some time for most people. But it is a good goal to have, and it is something to work towards. And this is how I'm personally working towards it. So I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope that you found that helpful. So go ahead and let me know with a comment how you're working on creating passive income. And if you found this video helpful, please leave it a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.